Hi everyone, Amanda here, the tax girl. I wanted to do a video on a topic that a lot of people mention and bring up as a tax professional as a strategy, which is hiring your children to lower your taxable income. It's a great strategy. I've been using it for years. However, there are a lot of moving parts, and you have to make sure that you do everything legally, and you also have to make sure you do everything in sequence. So I wanted to do a video to simplify this for you in 6 steps. Make sure you watch the video all the way through because number 6 is the most important. The first question you have to ask yourself is, am I a business? And you don't have to be a McDonald's, you don't have to be a law firm, although those would qualify, but are you a business that generates income on a consistent basis? And if you can answer yes to this, then yes, you are legally able to take expenses such as hiring your children to lower your taxable income. Number 2, you have to set up a bank account. Now, you can do this with any bank that you want. You can do this with the Chase Bank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America. You can do this with a credit union, but you have to set up a bank account for your child. Now, a lot of people come to me after trying to do this worried that the bank is making them do a joint bank account. And that is completely fine because that is actually the only way you can open up a bank account for a minor. A minor cannot sign a contract, therefore, you're going to have a joint bank account. Don't worry, it is completely legal. The IRS is not going to say, hey, you're part owner of this bank account. Why are you paying yourself and taking it as a deduction? That's not going to happen. If you open up a bank account with your child, it will be a joint bank account, and that is completely legal. Number 3, you need a W-2, an I-9, and a job description. The first 2 you can get directly from the IRS website. The job description is really important. You can go to ChatGPT, type in what you do for work, your child's age, let it know that you want to do a job description, but you have to have a job description that your child can actually fulfill the duties. It's going to show the responsibilities, it's going to show the duties, and it's going to show the expectation, just like you would any other employee. This is very important. As you would hire an employee, you're going to hold your child to the same accountability, and it's going to be the same process as if you were hiring someone or when you hire someone for your business. So again, you can Google this, you can go on ChatGPT. In terms of how much to pay them, you want to take where you live into consideration and what the going rate is for that position. I live in California. Minimum wage here is about $20 an hour. So I have to keep within this criteria. I can't go too low and I definitely can't go too high. In terms of age, how old your child can be to hire them, the general rule is between ages 7 and 8. However, I hired my 2-year-old, and I'm thinking, I know you're thinking, what can a 2-year-old possibly do? But I had websites, I was doing marketing, and I used my child as a model. And so I would take professional photos of him and use him for all my campaigns and all my websites. The going rate here in California is anywhere from $500 to $1,000 for a session. So I was actually able to pay my child that. It's completely legal. Again, just making sure that you look to see what's in your area to make sure that you're not going too low and you're not going too high. Number 4 is setting up payroll for your child. So you can use QuickBooks, you can use ADP, you can use Gusto. I personally use ADP. I have a contact there who I've been using for a very long time. I love and trust her. She just knows how to set them up correctly. So if you want her contact, go ahead and reach out to me or leave a message and I'll go ahead and send that over to you. But you want to make sure that everything is done legally. You don't want to just write a check and then have it deposited. You definitely do not want to do a wire transfer. You want to make sure that everything is set up, again, as if this was an actual employee and you would be paying them by direct deposit or mailing them a check. So you would need to set up a payroll for them. Number 5 is knowing what the federal exemption is for the year that you are paying your child. So for 2026, the exemption is 16,100. What does this mean? It means as long as you keep under 16,100, your child should be exempt from federal taxes. So every year this goes up. Last year it was less, next year it's going to be more. So you want to make sure that every year you set it up to where you're paying your child monthly, bi-weekly, annually, however you want to set it up, but you want to make sure that you know what the federal exemption is in the year that you're paying them. Number 6 is the most important, and it's documentation. Document, document, document. You want to make sure that you have the I-9, the W-2, and the job description nicely and accessible if you were ever to be audited. You also want to document the hours that your child is working and a brief description of what they did that day. You really cannot over document. It's very, very important that you have this accessible. You can either go online and use a system, or you can manually do it. I personally do manual because I'm just old fashioned like that and I prefer to do that. But I document everything that I have my child do. Very important documentation. So there you have it. Those are your 6 simple steps in hiring your children, making sure you're compliant, making sure you document everything. Follow me for more tips on how to save in taxes.